everyone, and welcome to this new moon in Aquarius reading. And the new moon in Aquarius is happening on the 31st of Jan or 1st of Feb, depending where you are in the world. So I was channeling a message before I started this video that this new moon comes with it the rare shift in consciousness. And we'll obviously get into that a bit during the reading, but I'm hearing that it's the next level for humanitarian efforts. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of energy clearing, and even though people may not know what's going on outside MSN, there's a lot happening. I'm being told the goalposts are shifting in our, I'm assuming if you're here, you're on the side of freedom, but yeah, it's shifting, the energy shifting to our advantage, and things are we're gonna start seeing things breaking. It's already started to happen in the UK. Things are changing, things are breaking. This Aquarius energy is about being rebellious, wanting freedom, taking a stand, coming together with groups of like-minded people. And I'll say that the people that are banding together to make the change would have heavy Aquarius placements. So you'll see more protests and more people supporting the smaller businesses that they're trying to shut down. It's people coming together for the greater good to stand for our freedom and our children's freedom and our parents' freedom and body autonomy. This is a pivotal change in history that needed to take place. I don't want to go into this too much because this is like my life all the time, but that is Aquarius energy. We're realigning the group think, the collective group think, by that small percentage of people that are doing the right thing and fighting for freedom. So with ingenious, insightful energy and just the ability to read between the lines, analyze the information, choose to make a discerned commitment and create and implement change into the world. So let's see what else is going on during this Aquarius new moon. Comment down below if you know any Aquarius placements. That got spat out. Did you see? Peace. It's funny, I was telling someone today that was a guy, and he was saying, you know, why don't you want to date? And I said, look, if I can find someone that is in line with my energy and also doesn't affect my peace in my life that I've created for myself, then I will. But until then, I love being by myself. Like, society is the one that says that you need to be in a relationship. You don't need to be. I don't need to be. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very interesting. A lot of people don't like peace. People spend their whole life trying to achieve peace, right? And I'm guessing that this is coming up because you're feeling quite peaceful. And that is one of the big messages for this Aquarius new moon is you will be triggered, but you're finding that you see your trigger straight away and you do something different. You don't let it trigger you. You just like let it wash all over you. You kind of go with the flow of the triggers. Someone approaching you in the wrong way, someone that says the wrong thing, someone that's a hypocrite. My favorite is projection. You know, when people don't realize that they're projecting out their traumas onto other people. Let's say someone says, oh, people never listen to me. But you're listening to them telling you about how people don't listen to them. And then they kind of like turn that around onto you and start pointing the finger at you and attacking you for the things that they do, if that makes sense. We all, unfortunately, as healers, we're mirrors, and that comes up a lot. People they feel safe enough. It's like when you have a child and it's been traumatized. Let's say the parents have split up and the child doesn't feel safe with the father. So therefore the child shuts down And then when the child's with the mother, he acts out, carries on, hits the mum, you know, say he's a little toddler, because he feels safe enough to try to release his frustration with the mum. And he knows that the mum's not going to, you know, ignore him or beat him or whatever. It's kind of like the same thing with healers, adults in a child. They can sense that there's a healer around and that they can talk to this person, and then they start throwing their crap at them, their emotional issues. So say that happens to you and you know, okay, I don't need to engage in this. I see their shadows. I just need to go, okay, you feel that way. I acknowledge you feel that way, and you just step off. There's a lot of strength coming in during this new moon. It's just really beautiful. Like, see how far you come. I know I said a lot, but you were so much stronger than you were a year ago. Like, it's quite amazing. Keep your heart open. And that's the other thing. I think when you get shat on and you get hurt a lot, you close off your heart, right? But I feel like you're learning to keep your heart open to what experience wants to come, even if you have those repetitive situations of, let's say, people just crapping all over you or not listening to you, or not understanding you, not taking the time to understand you. You're still learning, well, you still know how to keep your heart open, even though the outside world is not how you'd like it, or you don't like how people come at you. You've got your boundaries up enough to make a stand for yourself, to not let anyone shift your energy, shift your peace. And we've got the Aries, and it's Aries energy, yeah, saying go for it. I'm hearing planning. Break through the tension, which is what we discussed, and that's exactly what you're doing. And it's like, that's like this year, and I said it in the beginning, it's going to be such a year of self-mastery, and I feel like you're acing it. It's like not even February as I'm recording this, and I feel like a lot of you have already moved mountains energetically. You're just like in full alignment, I'm hearing. Ooh, not yet. Let's see what the angels have to say. It's going to be very tired. It's, you know, please journal if you do that sort of thing, but it's a time of alignment and just hearing your needs and your wants and your desires too. So journaling is the perfect place to do that. I'm getting, oh wow, pregnancy and children. But what I'm actually getting from this is a rebirth. I'm sure some of you could have just had a child or you're pregnant, but that's the general meaning. But I just feel like this is like a rebirth. You're about to birth something quite beautiful and new, and I'm hearing from Feb to April. So you're going to get this insight that is triggered by this new moon in Aquarius. It's just it's a brand new insight. Something, it's like piecing the puzzle pieces together. You've had seeds planted. So sometimes, you know, people will be like, oh, try this, you know, try creating this. You're really good at that. Try doing this. And you're like, yeah. But you're not feeling it because it's not ready for that new thing to be born. But then all of a sudden, it's like all those pieces of information, all those words that you heard of positivity, which you denied and doubted before, lands in your heart, trickles into your soul, and you're like, oh, now's the time's right for me to do that. Like, it just clicks all together. Like, it's amazing. And that is being birthed. And it could be something around children. Your life purpose could involve helping children, and this is a perfect time to do that, to take a stand for children, to teach them what you have learnt. So, you know, by the time they're 40, they don't have the issues, you know, that we had to go through, because they're natural sponges. I would have loved someone to teach me all this when I was younger. Like, oh, I would have been so confident. You know, and that's one thing that a lot of us struggle with is confidence, because our parents didn't have confidence. They didn't know what they were doing, and their parents didn't know what they're doing, so how could they teach us? But that doesn't go for everyone. So we've got the travel card here. Let's see. What is this travel? One more from this deck. And this could be like astral travel, remote viewing, plucking information from the universe. And look at that bottom of the deck, express your individuality. That is, oops, such Aquarius energy. it is about being different. Aquarius energy celebrates being different, and Aquarians are great for listening to other people's ingenuity, their thoughts. How did you come to that conclusion? They're interested. They don't have to, you know, it's not about believing someone or adopting their perception of things. It's about, wow, tell me how you got there. Tell me why you think that. Like, I really want to know. And that's the energy that's coming in. Even if you don't have Aquarius placements, you're going to feel like, I want to know how this thing works, and I'm going to research and get into it. And or I don't like how there's this process. Is there another way around it? Or can I create a new one? Like, it's quite amazing. It's such, you know, beautiful energy. And that is quite powerful, because when you can see something for what it is, or what you think it is, you can make changes if you feel like that needs to happen. You can go deeper into something, or we can discard something. And the great thing about Aquarius energy, even if you thought, wow, I'm on the right track, I know how this, let's just say, system or belief works, you're going to get KO'd and knocked with some new information. And you might even discard that whole belief system, or, you know, that process or way of thinking or that belief, and just go, oh, wow, I thought this was the answer, but it's not. You know what I mean? And it's very healing, and it's shifting away from the ego, therefore bringing peace. Because when you can just say, oh, wow, okay, my belief system's changed. It's not about being right or wrong. Who are you proving yourself to? Who cares? Like, it's just like, yep, okay, that I see it now. I see it now for what it is. And that is amazing energy. That is self-mastery, my friends. So what else does this new moon in Aquarius hold? Feeling quite lightheaded. Some of you need to drink water, and I'm hearing some of you are not listening to yourself. You're denying a need. There's a nagging feeling within you, and it keeps telling you to do something, and you're like, la 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 la, distract myself. Something you're not listening to. Your inner child wants to tell you about a painful time, and you're not hearing it because you're not taking the time to. And you know what? You will be ready when you're ready. We talk about these things now because sometimes the timing's not right, but it will reveal itself to you at a later date. That's what I love about spirituality and people like us, because we don't force things, do we? We don't say, you got a problem and you're going to deal with it. It's not a problem. It's just energy. It's energy shifting, and we don't rely on time or forcing ourselves to do things before we're ready. And just because we have areas that we think we need to improve in order to feel freer with our minds, which is all the lessons around life, which I believe that we're here for. We're here to master things because we want to master things, you know, and there's no, you know, whether we do it this lifetime or the next lifetime, it doesn't really matter. But just know though, when you're so super passionate about something, it will always work out. I want to give a little example too, because I feel like this is really important when we're working towards attaining our goals. So my guys used to say to me, okay, I want you to do 3 big goals. You know, write them down, hold yourself accountable, but you know, you need to be aware when you're going through the process, because I tend to forget. Write down 3 big goals. I'm like, oh, I just want this one goal. They're like, no, write down 3. I'm like, no, I just want this one. And I didn't listen to them. I just did this one. And now I've gotten the goal. On the psychology side of things, I know, you know, my mind knows that I'm not going to be happy when I attain the goal. But I wanted it anyway, right? So I thought if I just have one goal, I'll put everything into it. So yeah, had this one goal, I've achieved it, and I feel nothing. Insert laugh here. I feel nothing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm grateful, thank you, universe. But I'm like, oh. And then it's like, and now what? And if I could do the goals again, that would still be my number 1 goal. I still wanted it. I still think it's great that I've got it. But now what? And that's why they wanted me to have the 3, because I'm like, oh shit, I got it. Almost doubting myself that I was going to get it. try to put all my energy into the one thing, get it, and now what? Like, oh crap, got message received. And see, then that's no, you know, I'm not going to shoot myself or blame myself or berate myself for not listening or not knowing better. It's just the pace I was at. That's what I wanted. Now I've learned through the lesson, you know, not that it was a hard one, but it was like, aha, I feel the change now. I've experienced that, you know, at an intellectual level. I understood that I wouldn't be happy, but I still wanted it. So now that I've experienced it, I've like incorporated that lesson into like my being. Got the experience, therefore I can go, okay, yeah, cool, been through that experience. Now I'm gonna write 3 more goals instead of just putting it into one. And then when I cross off that one off the list, you add another one. Do you know what I mean? And it's not being egotistical, whereas we always have to want something, but we're all here for personal development and striving for a better life. And, you know, we want more for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not chasing endless goals for no reason. It's happening for a reason. I feel like someone really needs to hear that. I know I do. So what else is happening at this new moon in Aquarius? And if you can relate, let me know, because otherwise I feel crazy. Okay, here we go, growth. Coffee cup and courage, that came out in the pre-shuffle. God, that's so important. You know, we're experiencing such growth, and I think we just haven't stopped enough to go, wow, like you're having mindset shifts overnight. Your energy is shifting within you. You're healing aspects of yourself, like physically, mentally, emotionally, that you never thought you'd be able to heal. You're handling situations peacefully, gratefully. You can see that you're protected and that you're loved by the universe. You're getting lots of signs of that. And it would be good to write about it just so it's like fresh in your mind. You're the rare, I'm hearing rare 7%. You're rare, you know, and you sharing your love, your listening, your nurturing, your gift is changing the world. And why is there only like, say, 7% of us? Because that small amount of us, with every single aspect of learnt lesson, unlearnt lesson, has the energy to shift the consciousness. So you're being gifted during this new moon in Aquarius more protection, more energy of satisfaction, more faith and belief in yourself. And you're going to have this ability to move forward through challenges that would have previously paralyzed you. And that isn't basic, that's like extra. Like you've really leveled up, but you're getting a gift at this time for all your hard work. You'll see yourself shifting through, busting through blocks, busting through boundaries, busting through what you've been telling yourself that you can and can't do. There's more of an energy of confidence, which is really funny because it's like if things were coasting along and easy, you wouldn't be pushing yourself through, you wouldn't be pushing through these barriers, through these blocks and limitations, you would just coast. But because the energy has been in such disarray, you've learned to disconnect from it. You've learned to not adopt other people's energy. Your intuition tells you when to switch things off. Your intuition tells you when you need to go out in nature, and you listen to it. And because of that, you're being rewarded like on a major level. It's very strong energy. It's clearing. We've got the Emperor here. I feel like you're going to be stationary for a little bit. Some of you may be pushing forward with certain things, but I feel like some of you have been keeping things to yourself. Wow, look at that, Wheel of Fortune. And it's moving in your favor, which is what we discussed. We've got Death in reverse here. You've gone through this cycle many, many times, and now it's able to move forward. King of Swords in reverse. This is advice. Let's see what comes through. You really need to reflect on how you know yourself. Because sometimes we think we're the same person we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago, or when you were 17. I think your like 17-year-old inner child has something it wants to tell you. This is being rewarded, which is what we discussed, by the universe. Like the good karma that's coming in because of the hard work you've done, because you'll be able to balance your center, you know, and it's going to come through quite quickly. So I think there's like some sort of Uranus square on the new moon as well, which is causing the quick insights, the quick changes in energy, the shifts, the, you know, and I think a square is supposed to be hard energy, but that square, that forceful energy makes us move really quickly. And I feel like it's not going to be a severely uncomfortable situation. It's going to be something that you've processed a million times over and you know how to handle the situation, therefore you quickly move. And it doesn't have to be a physical thing. Anything else? Queen of Cups in reverse. And this is defending your boundaries. Can I have some more information? And remember to burn your like candles, your scented candles, and continue with emotional therapy. Okay, you know, if you're doing talk therapy with people, continue that, because you need to express yourself, because yeah, I think you've been holding too much inside. Okay, someone's been not giving you what you want, what you need. It's keep those boundaries up, okay? Is someone taking too much? It's not to make like a ledger with a reconciliation, go, oh, I gave this person this and therefore they have to give to me. But is there someone that always comes at you when they're not emotionally in balance. They're taking away from this Ace of Cups for you. They're taking away some of your shine, and you need that right now to go through this process. So just, if they do, just explain to them, you know, I care for you, but I need to focus just on me right now. So gonna have to let you handle this, babe. Or whatever that is, because you need to keep your boundaries up. You don't want people taking from you. When you're close to self-mastery, energetically people feel it, and they will, you know, subconsciously move towards you to take some of that. And that's what's happening here. This is what you need for yourself. This is your karmic return. If you want to share it after you get it, that's fine. But it's very important for humanity that you need to stay in your balance, that you need to be receiving what you need. Even if it's, well, not even if, but, you know, especially when you're giving it to yourself, you're keeping your balance. You know what you need to do and where you need to go next. Try not to let people and be triggered and let them throw you off balance, and always putting your time first, you know, when you can, and making sure you're scheduling that in, because this change needs to come through quickly, and you need to be clear-minded with it, and you need to be standing in your power, which is your stable emotions, and having a plan, emotional plan. Okay, my trigger is when someone says this, what's my emotional plan? Because we all know our triggers. We all know what's been pissing us off lately. My trigger is people thinking it's okay to discriminate against other people. I don't care who told you that's okay. That's not okay. Do you know what I mean? So I'm triggered in that respect. So what's my plan? I don't know, because I've just come up with this. So I will make my plan on what I need to do, you know, and things I usually do is either remove myself from the situation, but depending on my mood, I voice my opinion. I'm fine voicing my opinion. I don't care too much where I am, but I need to pull back in the workplace because they're all brainwashed. Ooh, and that's having that awareness, right, of self. Like, I know I'm all for expressing myself, but at the moment, I don't think I should, you know, and I don't like saying that often. Like, I always want people speaking their truth, but the thing is, my guides were telling me recently, it's like, you need to work underground, and that's not letting people that don't comprehend what's going on in the world trigger you. So it's like you need to keep what you're doing to yourself. You need to keep what's going on underground to yourself, unless you're talking to trusted people. So the same might be going for you. It's like what they say with any move though. It's like, don't announce your moves before you do it, because subconsciously most people aren't happy for you and they want to sabotage you. They do, because they're not brave enough to make those moves, and their energy will drag you down. And you know who you can tell good news to and who you can't. You know, it's difference between telling someone, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, and they're like, that's awesome, yeah, go for it. You know those people, right? Patsy's my person. She's like my, what do you call it, adopted mum. I'm like, I want to do this. She's like, yeah, I love it, do it. And then she's always my first supporter or whatever. You know the people, and there's other people that try to tell you you're not good enough. You know where you can stick them. So I hope you like this. Please let me know how you go. Don't forget to like and share, and check out my other videos, because my last video didn't get much of a hit. It was for Aquarius season. Yeah, awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.